Ryan Mutombo and Kaiden Rice. Ryan Mutombo recorded his first double-double at Georgetown. Kaiden Rice just set the new record for three-pointers in a game with 10. Start right over here.
Kaiden, just wanted to ask a bit about how you were feeling out there. Was there a point where you felt like everything was going to go in tonight, and in particular in the second half? Was that really where you were feeling it tonight?
Not really. It's just I knew I had to have a bounce back game coming from South Carolina, and I knew I'm better than that. So I just had to keep shooting. Like I said before, I have the next shot going mentality. So I just had to keep going that. My teammates had a good job finding me, and that's all I could ask for.
Did it feel like with the pace that thing was being played at early on that it was going to take a lot at the offensive end to be able to put this thing away?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, UMBC is a good team. They're mid-major, but they got dogs. They can go. So we had to match their energy and exceed their energy in order to win that game.
Mutombo, talk about your Bigs' defensive effort, particularly to start the game. Do you think it impacted them? They started looking around, looking for those shot blockers after you guys were able to defend.
Definitely. I think establishing a defensive presence earlier in the game is going to be huge for us, especially going forward to Saturday's game against Syracuse. Jesse Edwards, he's a great finisher at the rim. So obviously me, Malcolm Wilson have to step up now that Timothy Ikohefe's out. And these last couple of weeks, I've gotten great practice in guarding Tim every day in practice since the summer. That's definitely just helped me with my defensive presence. And in high school, I didn't get to play against a lot of 7-footers. I wasn't on a circuit team, and I was in a relatively small league, private school-wise. So college has definitely been an adjustment, but I think the defensive presence at the glass today and at the rim was huge.
Okay, now this is your first season here, you know what I mean? How has it been, kind of getting acclimated now and obviously having this good of a season, this good of a game, this early in the season, obviously being able to put your name in the record books, already?
I mean, it's easy when you have the teammates that I got. I love these guys. Like I said earlier, they do a really good job of finding me. I think my 2-point guards had 13 assists combined together. And when that happens, I mean, all my job is easy. I just got to knock it down. So, yeah.
I see the offense kind of struggled before today, but today you guys score 100 points, shoot 50% from the floor. I mean, does this kind of win kind of get you guys rolling, going forward?
Yeah, I think this definitely gives us some momentum. We've been looking for this big blowout type win in order to carry into Syracuse, a team that's going to compete against us. We got to compete. We got to match their energy, and we got to score. We also have to defend, but I think we found our identity scoring. So, yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you got off kind of to a quick start offensively. You had 15 attempts, which is also a career high. Did having those attempts help you get into a groove tonight?
I always say it's easier to shoot the ball when the first couple go in. So getting those first 3 baskets to fall, that gave me a lot of confidence. And I think I always try to start the game with shots close to the basket and then work my way out. My teammates were giving me some great passes today. As a team, we had 22 assists to UMBC's 12, which was huge for us. So again, finding the bigs, finding me and Malcolm and Tim in the post when we're open, and because obviously we're all willing passers, so that's just going to get the offense going. And as far as the attempts go, I went 7 for 15, which is not above 50%. So I'm not very happy with that, but I was definitely feeling a lot more confidence in it.
Just one more. Kaiden, for you, when you're that hot, how do you make sure that you kind of stay in the moment as opposed to almost like overthinking because you got off to such a great start?
No, I mean, it's just staying consistent. When it's hard to explain, but when you're zone, you just know the next shot's going in, and made or miss, whatever shot I shoot, I 100% believe it's going in, no matter what kind of shot it is, honestly.
We're going to get Bobby Bancroft, and then these guys are going to go because we still have to get Coach Ewing in here.
Ryan, a lot was made on the broadcast of the South Carolina game of, South Carolina's ability to get in the paint, a lot of dunks. How obviously the offense is a big deal, but how big was it for your defense to respond the way it did today?
Defensively, like I said, it's just been an adjustment for me coming from high school. I mean, the guys here are a lot quicker. And that's something that I have to be totally conscious of 100% of the time now. I can't let bigs get backdoor dunks right behind me. And that was a big weakness that I showed at South Carolina. And I think on the film, Coach Pat really harped on us this week. He said we let up 15 dunks for South Carolina, and they had 42 points in the paint. And Georgetown, that's not our brand of basketball. We can't have teams scoring more than 30 points in the paint on us. So again, just making the adjustment and keeping my feet centered so I can see my ball and the man is definitely going to help us going forward.
Okay, sorry, going to the Zoom, we have Patrick Waring.
Hey, Ryan, I know you kind of touched on it already, but I just wanted to kind of ask you just about your overall experience, how it's been so far, just coming in, working in the off season up until this point tonight.
One thing I can say is that I feel like Coach Pat trusts me out there to make the right decisions. I feel like every single game, every time he puts me on the floor, he gives me the freedom to do what I feel is right until he sees me make a mistake, and then he'll correct me. And that's been huge in expediting the process of my maturity as a player. I feel like I've improved a lot since I came to Georgetown, and obviously we still have tons of games ahead of us before the eventual Big East tournament and hopefully March Madness. But yeah, I think Coach Ewing's belief in me has definitely been a big part in me maturing here.
All right, thank you. And Kaiden, I just wanted to kind of ask you during the.
Sorry, we're gonna switch out. We've got Coach Ewing ready to go.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Guys.
Thank you.
Take that shit. Let me get this one out of the way.
We'll start in the room right back here, and then we'll go to the post.
Hey, Coach. Obviously today was a big game for Ryan. He seemed to be a little bit more comfortable the last couple of games. How important is that with Tim going out, and what have you liked from his development so far, especially recently?
We need for him to continue to grow and continue to get better. He played a very good game today for the most part. I mean, 15 points and 11 rebounds, 4 block shots. At some point, he was trying to block shots like his dad. We need for him to continue to grow, like I said before. Just, when he comes in, we have to be able to get him the ball when he's open and has to take and make good shots. So his development is still a process, but it's getting there.
Patrick, obviously, when you have a guy like Rice that can shoot the way he does, even when he's coming off a tough game, is the encouragement there basically just keep shooting? And is this sort of what you were hoping you were going to get out of him when you were trying to, kind of fill some holes in the offseason and be able to get a guy like that?
Well, I cursed his ass out at no. Look, at practice yesterday, I told him, look, the type of shooter you are, there shouldn't be no nights where you go over. And that's the type of shooter that I saw when we recruited him, and that's the type of shooter that I believe that he is. And he showed that tonight. Now, he's gonna have to continue to do it. On Saturday is gonna be they have 4 guys that can do it just like him. So we're gonna need him to shoot, and we're gonna need him to make them. And we're going to need him to do other things than just shoot. But yeah, he's special. And with the cast that we had, with Amino and him being a downhill guy, we need shooters on the perimeter, and we need him and Don to be able to take shots and make shots.
Do you think your big set the tone somewhat defensively to start the game? After a while, they were getting to the lane, and you could tell they were looking.
Yeah, Malcolm did. I mean, he had 4. He had 4 points, but he affected the game in so many different ways. He blocked shots. He changed some shots. He did a great job. He picked, he rolled, he did everything that we needed for him to do to be for us to be successful, and that's something that he has to do. You know, he's not the type of guy that you're gonna drop the ball to, but he can affect the game on the defensive end.
What did you say to number 5 in the lines, in the congratulatory line, Shantae's son?
I told him, I said, look, people always talk about when they equate height, heart with height. I told him, I said, look, you may not be the tallest, but I always tell people it's not the size of the dog, it's the bite in the dog. And he has a lot of fight, and that's all I tell him. That's the way he's been his whole life, and he needs to continue to do that.
I'm sure you guys scored 100 points, shot 50% from the floor. How do you guys kind of carry the offensive performance over, to Saturday's game and going forward from there?
Hey, look, I ain't even worried about Saturday right now. I'm just happy with this win. The wins are hard to come by. And, Syracuse, like I said, they're a team that I've played against. Now I'm coaching against. Coach Boeheim is, one of the best coaches in the country. He's been doing it for a lot of years. And they have 4 guys that can shoot like Kaiden Rice. 4 guys. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. We need Kaiden to be able to shoot the ball the way he shot it tonight. And we also need for Dante, Amino, and everyone to be able to have a stellar game for us to win.
Hey, Coach.
Excuse me.
Hey, late in the game, Jalen looked a little bit frustrated, especially when you went coast to coast. And I noticed that you had spoken to him during that timeout. As a coach, how do you keep his confidence up, maybe when he's sort of second guessing everything he's doing out there?
Sometimes, they need to keep the coach's confidence up. No, hey, look, I think he's going to have a great career here. He's talented, he's athletic. Sometimes it's going to take guys a little longer for it to click, but when it clicks, he's going to be special. All I tell him is that, the same thing I tell him every day in practice. It's not him driving it coast to coast and shooting. It's just the way that he shot it. He goes in there with that. Coach Thomas used to call it a flying Walindas. So he goes in there and shot that. I said, go strong. That's it.
It felt like that was probably as complete a game as Dante had so far this season, particularly just kind of rebounding, getting some assists, taking care of the ball for the most part. What was your take on what he was able to do?
I thought he played a very good game against a guy who is a pest. He's going to be into it. He was into him. He was trying to create steal. He was being physical. He was able to knock down some shots. He got 7 assists. 7 assists. 22 assists, that's our most of the season. So, he and I spoke before the game, and I told him, I want the Dante of last year to come out. I'm waiting for him. You were aggressive on defense. You were into the guys. I thought that he did that for the most part tonight. And then he was able to take shots and make shots.
We'll go to Bobby Bancroft and then end the in the Zoom.
Yeah.
There was a lot made during the South Carolina game of the lack of interior defense. How did you like the way that you guys responded? Ryan said that you basically told him that's not really acceptable here at Georgetown. And what were the adjustments that had to be made?
Of course, when you lose, everything gets magnified. So we watch film on it. We watch film on the 20 plus dunks that they got. We watched film on them blocking shots, the 42 points in the paint that they got. So, we talked about it, and, I talked about Georgetown's history, our history, all the things that Coach Thompson built that I sweat, blood, and tears for, the people who came before me, the people who are here now. I talked about that. I talked about, us. We were the hunted. We were the best team, best school in college sports. And, for what happened that night, that can't happen ever again. I know not a coach, not a team that Patrick Ewing's coaching. We have sacrificed too much to get Georgetown to this point for that to happen.
Okay, heading to Patrick Waring on the Zoom.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask you about Aminu's performance tonight. How do you feel he played tonight? And then just overall, how do you think he's done this year? Especially, I mean, he has everyone's attention every night, of course. How do you think he's been living up to the expectations?
Oh man, Amina was damn terrible. Hey, look, that kid's special. He's special. He's talented, and he's only going to continue to get better. You know, we're putting him on the best offensive guy on the opposing team. He's doing a great job, and this is as a freshman. As a freshman, you know, he's tough. He works hard. He comes in early, works on his game. He stays late, works on his game. Hey, look, I think the best is yet to come. I mean, he had 13 and 11, had another double-double. Where is it at? He had 13 and 10 with 3 assists. But, you know, he's going to make mistakes. And that's another thing I told our kids that, you know, I can live with mistakes if you're going hard. He goes hard all the time. So he's special.
All right, thank you.
Been alerted by UMBC.